So part of understanding nutrition is you need to have a key understanding of macros and micros. So we're talking about macronutrients and micronutrients. Now, our macronutrients are obviously proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, while our micronutrients comprise of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So why do we need to know this stuff if we're a PT or an online coach? Well, for one, the industry is saturated with misinformation. Your clients might ask you questions whether they should track their macros, whether they're deficient in any micronutrients. Now, obviously, if you're not a nutritionist or a dietitian, this is outside of your scope of practice, but you can still give them general information. Now, to have a really strong foundation in the general information of nutrition, like macros and micros, is essential. So protein has 4 calories per every gram of protein. Obviously, it's for muscle repair and muscle growth. And what I find is that most people are protein deficient. So when we're analyzing a client's nutrition, this is one of the things that stands out straight away. In most cases, clients before starting their program or their personal training with you will be only having protein maybe once or twice a day. So it's an easy thing that you can fix and help them to start spread their protein intake out over the day. Obviously, with protein, our body can absorb about 30 grams of protein every 3 to 4 hours. So it's not like we want to just have one big dose of protein once a day. We want to actually spread that out over the day, and that's going to help with consistent muscle repair and muscle growth. For most clients that you're going to come into contact with, they're not going to be friends with carbohydrates. Obviously, because there's been so much misinformation throughout the industry around cutting carbohydrates, cutting calories. So most people's diet comprises of around 60 to 70% of carbohydrates. That's just for the average person before they start a transformation program. So obviously with carbohydrates, it's our main energy source. So once you have a surplus of that, now we're talking about 35 to about 40% of your daily intake is a good recommended dosage for carbs. Now, anything above that, you're going to keep in calorie surplus and you're going to store it on your body as fat. So one of the things is that you want to look into your clients, how many carbs are they actually eating a day in terms of their grams. Now, it's the thing where you don't want to cut their carbs because it's essential to have carbohydrates in their diet to maintain a healthy and fast metabolism. So with fat, we're talking about 2 types of fat. We're talking about saturated fat, animal fats, and then we're talking about polyunsaturated fat. Now, polyunsaturated fat are like your omega-3, 6, and 9. So you can get those through nuts, oily fish, avocado, things like that. The fat you want to stay away from is the harmful fat. So animal fat and also trans fat, which occurs when we cook things at a high heat. So then we go to vitamins, and we have 2 types of vitamins. We have those that are fat soluble and those that are water soluble. So your fat is A, D, E, and K, and then with our water, it's our B1 to B9 vitamins plus B12 and vitamin C. Now, another part of the micronutrients that we need to consider are the minerals. So these are calcium, sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, and phosphorus. So those are the essential minerals our body needs, and we mainly get them through plant-based foods. Now, antioxidants are a little bit of an unknown, but basically they occur naturally in fruits, vegetables, tea, coffee, even chocolate, and wine and alcohol, but we want to try and stay away from that with our clients, so we're not going to advocate chocolate and wine. But these things really help boost your antioxidant level. Now, antioxidants are responsible for removing free radicals in our body. So free radicals can lead to cancer and other forms of illness. So antioxidants really help fight and remove them from our body. So looking at macros and micros in its totality, it's really important as a PT or a coach to understand this information. Now, if you have the passion to really change clients' lives, then it's in your best interest to go to an actual nutritional qualification, whether that be dietetics, a sports nutrition course, but something that's actually insurable in your region. There is an issue within the personal training and the online coaching industry of people just coming into the industry, taking a cookie cutter program and then giving that to their clients. Now, that's not specific and it can be harmful to people's health. Now, I'm sure you've seen these before. These are the types of programs that cut calories, that might cut a whole food group out. Now, the type of relationship with food that I encourage my clients to have is something that's healthy and sustainable, that they can actually make it a lifestyle. It should never be something where they're having to cut food groups or cut specific amounts of food or be obsessive about their macros and their micros. Now, some clients, they're going to love the detail of actually tracking their macronutrient intake. Now, there's great apps to do this. There's MacroTrack and there's also MyFitnessPal. We're going to talk in depth about the law of consistency throughout this module, but when it relates back specifically to macros and micros, consistency is key. Now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a macronutrient ratio that's going to work to get our clients results safely and sustainably. Now, the key to this is having a baseline to work from. So when they are tracking their macros, you know exactly how many protein, carbs, and fats they're having each day, and then you can get them to be consistent, and then you can progressively increase their calories over time. Now, we call this process reverse dieting, and in this module we have an amazing video which shows that process in detail. It's an absolute game changer for client results. But before we get there, we have to start with the foundation. So make nutrition a study. If you're serious about getting results for clients, don't just be someone that just has generic programs that aren't personalized for your clients. Each client has their own unique set of barriers and objections with their own nutritional journey. Now, this is something as a coach you have to deep dive into and peel back the layers of what their relationship with food is like and what's holding them back, because often it's self-sabotage. They have a dysfunctional relationship with food, especially within female clients. So before you go and prescribe programs, make sure you have a sound nutritional foundation and you take a personalized approach for each and every client you work with.